As I mentioned throughout the service this evening, we're going to be going back to the book of Joel. And in Joel, we're looking at chapter 1, the second half of the chapter, verses 13 through 20. If you don't know where Joel is, it's on page 712 of the Bibles in your chairs there. But also, if you know the minor prophets, it's the second book of the minor prophets after Hosea, and then Joel. And Joel, again, is one of those books we don't know the date. We don't know exactly the circumstances except for this. They are in the midst of a devastating locust plague. And because of this locust plague, things look dire, so dire that Joel says, and asks the rhetorical question, is have you ever seen anything like this? And he thinks it is such a devastating circumstance that it's perhaps something that this particular generation has never seen or will see again. And so he's calling out for them to pay attention to it. In fact, in the first part of the chapter, he called out to different people groups, elders, drunkards, women, and farmers. He called them to survey the damage and lament. That is, to cry about it, mourn about it, about what has happened. But in this section of the chapter, I think particularly the first couple of verses remind us of the root of the problem in the midst of this. It's not just the plague, it's also the condition of their hearts. Look what he has them to do in verses 13 through 20 as he turns from these people groups to particularly the priests and the elders of the land. He says, "Put on sackcloth and lament, O priests. Wail, O ministers of the altar. Go in,